Hey, what's up? We're
The Rare Occasions.
and this is the Ben Adams Show.
Back when I was younger, was told by other youngsters that might well be tortured beneath the earth.
The Rare Occasions. How's Utah so far? I mean,
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
It's magical.
It's snowy and it's cold.
yeah. how's the weather been so far on this tour? So far, pretty good.
The weather has been pretty good until the past few days, but we're pushing through and we're having fun.
Nice. What's been like the most bizarre weather?
Sorry.
Good. What's like the most bizarre experience that you guys have been in a weather situation? Any crazy moments?
Most bizarre weather.
Have you been through any blizzards or anything? Or
We've had to cancel shows because of snow before. Back when we lived in the Northeast,
Yeah.
we were on our way to a gig and it was just we couldn't make it.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. Lowell, Massachusetts.
is that pretty bad up though?
Way to Salt Lake a couple days ago, I had to drive through a bunch of fog, and it was washing out my headlights, and I couldn't see the difference between the color of our headlights
Yeah.
and the yellow line on the road.
Dude, that would be scary. That would be.
And I had no idea where in the road I actually was. And cars could have come out of any corner because I couldn't see more than 15 feet in front of us. So
Sounds.
it's pretty. Yeah, I was glad to get through that one.
Yeah. Well, before we start going into music, Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Which one? What do you guys?
I usually go with Coke,
Coke.
but I'll take either.
Coke. I'm gonna go for the underdog, Fago.
Figo?
Oh yeah,
Fig-
that's the Detroit cola of choice.
Yeah.
Really?
just learned
What's it
about
like?
that the other day.
I've heard about it, but I don't know anything about it.
It was
but-
the first one that I had, but it was less carbonated, and I think it was less sweet than Coke or Pepsi. I actually kind of like that.
We learned about it from Leo from Hot Freaks.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Dude,
that's one of his favorites.
That seems like a Leo type of. We just talked to him outside for a little bit, and
Nice.
that kind of fits his style and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Something that I've noticed, just in the music world, so music is mostly based on Spotify, Apple Music, if that makes sense. But you guys got a YouTube plaque for 100K subscribers recently.
Oh yeah.
How was? I mean, I haven't really talked to musicians getting those before because that's kind of a different world, But
Yeah.
how was that?
Sick. We've had our YouTube channel for a long time and just always, uploaded whatever we're up to on there. And when, over this past year, we've had some traction with our song Notion, and I think a lot of people subscribe to just the YouTube music aspect of it. So they're just listening to the music.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily looking at our content. So it's cool that there's that many subscribers, but it's a little bit different from a dedicated YouTuber who has that many subscribers. It's a different kind of audience, I would say.
Yeah.
The thing, I feel like a subscriber on YouTube means a lot than just a follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think there's so much content to watch on YouTube that when people pick something to subscribe to, it has a lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that it's one of our bigger platforms now, and so many people decide that they want to get a notification when we decide to upload a dumb video, that's something that they want to see. So it's pretty cool that number's gone up over the last year.
That's it. Do you think that's the same way with a Spotify follow or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Media?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's similar because Spotify is
There's so much.
mainly music streaming, so
Yeah.
the subscribers there are there to listen to our stuff.
Yeah.
And we've been working at this band for a long time, so it's really cool now that when we release music, a bunch of people are notified that, hey, Rare Occasions have new music.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps do the promo that took us. It takes a lot to get that amount of promo.
Totally.
And with Spotify, it's sort of free in a way, so that's kind of cool.
Definitely. I mean, how long have you guys been a band? Since 2012 or earlier?
Yeah, we started in college, 2012.
That's sick.
I mean,
And
Brian and I were making music together since high school, so
Yeah.
was this when you guys were still over in New England?
Yeah.
yeah, in New England. So
Sick.
But this band specifically, 2012, and yeah, been doing it ever since.
Now, when you guys started back then, did you guys think you'd be where you are now? Or, I mean, like back then, different, like even a whole different, like there was no TikTok with like Notion that blew up on. So like,
Yeah.
what were you guys thinking back then?
We were like, back then, the hope was like that a record label person would discover us
Yeah,
and then sign us to
that's-
$1 million record deal, and all our dreams would come true.
Yeah.
But the industry doesn't really work like that, and it didn't even work like that back then. It took us a while to figure out that it's really, you get out what you put into it.
For sure.
So we just like are always trying to release new music and put out the best stuff we can, and as long as we enjoy what we're doing and feel like we're progressing and and I don't know, have a piece of our humanity in the art, then that's what's important.
Having a passion and stuff.
Like, there's no one thing that creates the pinnacle of your career. Like, yeah, TikTok was wildly influential on forward momentum for us.
Yeah.
But I mean, in our growth, there have been newer sets of challenges that we've been dealing with that, not to sound ungrateful, but I mean, it's just the truth that when you reach different stages in your life and your career, no matter what successes you have, life is always going to throw more curveballs at you. And
just kind of about moving forward and stuff.
yeah, just
Moving that
finding a
path.
way to minimize the distractions so
Sure.
that we can continue to do what it is that we started to do this when we were still teenagers.
Yeah.
We can still do that thing, which is making music. So it's just the same goal, but just kind of repivoting our objectives and how it is that we accomplish those goals.
Yeah, that's awesome. So 2016 album or EP that featured Notion, did you think that it would blow up 4 or 5 years later?
Oh my God.
No.
That one song.
I've had people come up to me, look me dead in the eye and say, "You can tell me the truth. What did you do for everything to happen on TikTok?"
Yeah.
And I was like, well, we predicted that TikTok would exist 6 years in advance when we released the song, and we skewed the algorithm. Not like there's almost zero control over it happening. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing that we could have done. Like, it's
We didn't even. We had like just started our TikTok page.
Yeah.
Like only a couple weeks before
So-
it blew up, and like literally nothing we did made it do what it did.
Yeah.
You know,
It
it's
was-
like totally out of our control.
different iterations of internet support. There's shout out to Booga. I think a lot of it goes out to him from years and years ago. Famous Fortnite player. He won
Yeah.
like, the big championship.
Yeah.
And he uploaded music of ours onto his channel, and people in the Fortnite community shared our music because of that. And then that kind of like molded into different corners of the internet, different communities on the internet, and it landed in TikTok's lap, and it just kind of grew from there. But I mean, even with that, the internet, luckily rang us in as worthy. But even that process was years long. It was still 4 or 5 years of like these shifting, molding groups of communities supporting us until it actually got to TikTok, and then almost like overnight,
Yeah.
that's when things started to explode on TikTok.
Yeah. What was your guys' reactions when like it did start like to really blow up and stuff? Were you guys like whoa or like
That was like a glitch in our numbers. It was just like unbelievable.
yeah? So, I mean, you guys are at like 4 mil monthly listeners on Spotify. That's like pretty insane. And like that's sick.
Yeah.
It caught us all by surprise. I think it's been just a passion project that we've been doing on the
Yeah.
side. Never really thought it would actually blow up to the point that it did, but then it started happening, and it just kept going and going, and we were like, oh my gosh.
I mean, dude, you got like 100,000 people using that like song and stuff. I mean, that must be pretty sick to you guys, right? Like having that many people making videos to your music and stuff.
Yeah.
And the cool thing too, where I think we've been in a good position to kind of reap more rewards because of this scenario. It's not just like a TikTok moment.
Yeah.
We have a whole body of work that has seen benefits as well. And that's really cool. That's the reward. Is it's not just we became TikTok famous or whatever. It was our greater message got out to the world, and that's something that I at least I am personally grateful for, that it wasn't just the one song, it was the body of work that got more exposure, because I think we have a lot more to offer. In spite of our gratefulness, we have a lot to offer beyond just the one song.
Totally.
The people here today at Kilby Court are what we do this for, not necessarily like the hundreds of thousands of people that might scroll on
like
TikTok.
these are the true fans and
hear the
stuff.
song. These are the people that like the music has connected to.
They've gone back. They've listened to the rest of our catalog, and now they're fans of the band, not just fans of the one song.
Yeah.
And they made a decision to come out on a snowy Friday night. What is it? Friday night?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday night.
Yeah.
To see. I know. I'm all.
I mean, it's sold out.
It's a sold out show.
It's pretty insane. I mean, you guys were just talking before that when you guys played Ogden, it wasn't really that big of a venue, big audience stuff, and now you're playing like a sold out Salt Lake show. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, throughout your whole catalog of songs, what's the most important line that you think stands out most to you guys individually?
Man. Most important single line.
Yeah.
You put me on the spot
As a
here.
band or like.
You
guys
know,
can
right
listen
now,
individually.
just because we were talking about Notion, I like the line, "I'm sure there won't always be sunshine, but there's this momentary beam of light," because it sort of like encapsulates our whole thing, which is like optimism in the face of darkness.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of other lines that are like that too that I could probably draw from, but that's just what's on my mind right now.
Nice. What about you guys?
Do not do drugs. Do not do drugs. I will abstain from the drugs.
It's
Nice.
a good message for the kids.
Yeah.
Caterpillar.
Nice. That sounds valid. Question about Notion, that intro. How did that come? Because I was, it just reminded me of Disney for some reason. Like, have you ever
Yeah,
heard
it's
that?
funny. People have said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
How what does that sound like? How did you guys make it?
It's just, probably because it's like kind of chromatic.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
sounds like Disney, and we like
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the initial concept for the song, and it was just like a video on my phone of me playing piano.
Yeah.
And then it became the melody of the bridge of the song, the sunshine
Mhm.
part, and then we didn't have that intro at first. It was just like the melody for the voice, and then Luke had the idea to arrange it for strings at the intro, and yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Basically, like
Sick.
you take that melody and put it in the context of an orchestra,
Mhm.
and it's gonna sound like a film score. So
Yeah.
I think also like a lot of people probably don't listen to any orchestral music besides Disney movies.
To me, it doesn't sound like Disney.
Yeah.
Really?
To everyone else who's like, at first glance, they hear it, it sounds like
Yeah.
Disney. It's like, okay.
I think that's kind of like what you said, how it has that orchestral kind of feeling, I think that's kind of why. I don't know. That's just me though. But yeah, Attaboy.
Yeah, new EP.
How's that been going?
It's
great.
It's great.
Yeah, how long has that been in the works for?
Well,
Way
too long.
Probably
Yeah.
last fall,
Yeah.
early winter.
We
Last year.
didn't start actually recording until May of 2022. But we had been kicking around a lot of song ideas leading up to that, and we were kind of held up for like business reasons why we couldn't start recording. So at the start of May, we're like, okay, here we go, and I think we finished it at the end of September, and then gave a couple months to like promote it.
Yeah. What made you guys release Seasick and Not Afraid, kind of like as singles before the whole EP? Just
To be completely honest, they were the ones that were ready.
the ones that you finished first.
Yeah, the songs were written and recorded, and it was more so a battle of which one to release first, because Seasick has like I think a little bit more of like a mainstream sound. Not Afraid, at least personally for me, like Brian's vocal melody in the chorus, it really hits hard.
Yeah. Seems more
And-
almost in a way kind of, I wouldn't call it like a heavier song, but more kind of punchy. I don't know.
Seasick?
Not afraid. Not
Yeah,
afraid. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
Those
yeah.
distorted
vocals and stuff.
guitars
Yeah.
and bass and
Mhm.
bridge.
Definitely a little bit more aggression coming from the song, but because of that, we were like, maybe our first single after Notion doing what it did, maybe Seasick would be the better call
Yeah.
because it's got a little bit more of like surfy, fun, mainstream appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of like the battle that we dealt with for a little bit,
Mhm.
but yeah, the cold hard truth of it was those were the two that were ready.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those, is that EP leading up to an album or?
Yeah,
Any
we're,
plans
we're
for that
hoping to do
soon?
more music next year,
Mhm.
and it's just a matter of when and where and how.
Yeah.
But hopefully an album, because we did an album in 2021.
Yeah, big group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it would be cool to do another album
Yeah.
soon.
Soon,
You know.
like in the next year,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Yeah.
We literally just released Attaboy, and so it's hard to like, because albums can take like over a year sometimes.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
We can't necessarily commit to anything right now in this interview, but if we had our druthers, we'd have an album for you
Yeah,
in 2023.
hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. Question about origami. How did that come into play? Like just
Origami. Yeah,
That's
that's
a
it's
fun
actually
one.
so like the way we tend to write is
Mhm.
like we have lots of riff ideas
Yeah.
and melody ideas.
you
that
guys
we
kind
just
of bounce off each other. Or,
Yeah, we just like catalog them over a long
Mhm.
period of time. So it was something that I had forgotten about, and then I found on my laptop from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then I took it to the guys, and it was kind of only a half song because we didn't have the like instrumental part at the end. So once we took it to band practice, like that's when that kind of came about. And then for me, lyrics are always last.
Yeah.
So I was
We had our first songwriting sessions for Origami when I was stuck in Texas with
yeah.
COVID. And so like our first, I think I have some recordings of it still, like our first get together,
Mhm.
so to speak, with that song.
That's sick.
Over the internet. Which
That's
is
cool.
like kind of par for the core for us, considering our Future Proof EP was written and recorded almost entirely remotely. So writing another song about, and Notion was on Future Proof obviously,
Mhm.
so writing another song that happens to be like our next most popular song that it started over the internet. Go figure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one. It's a good one.
Thank you.
Last question for you guys. If you had to pick any song from your category, what do you think is the most underrated
underrated.
song?
There's a
by
lot
you
that are
guys.
underrated
Of our song?
Yeah.
of our songs. So songs that aren't getting the love that we think they
Yeah.
deserve.
What's the song that you want to stick out more?
Oh,
Yeah.
You have an answer?
Yeah. Dysphoric.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That song kills. I love that song so much. It's so high energy, and
Do you guys play it live?
not for a while, but I don't know, maybe one day we can.
Put it back.
But yeah, it's like also Brian's rot rock swivel. Like some of his lyrics in that song are
Yeah.
so cool. And yeah, I just really like that song. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
For
Any
me,
specific
it's
one for
probably
you?
Stay.
Stay.
It does well streaming, but never seems to do well live.
That one was like for that album. It was that was kind of the track that inspired us to write a whole album. Like
That's cool.
Stay was the first one that came together, and we were like, okay, we're onto something. Let's
Yeah, it kind of sparked the ideas.
Let's
got
keep
everything
going.
and stuff.
And so I feel like the most blood, sweat, and tears went into that song, and then it didn't like do as well streaming wise or whatever. So that one, yeah, that would be cool if people could check that one out.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, sold out show in like a few hours. I'm excited to see you guys. It'll be a cool show.
Yeah, we're excited to play.
Yeah. Any last things? Any upcoming shows after this tour? After you guys get off?
Yeah, we're
Or anything?
tail end of our tour right now. We got Denver, Phoenix, and LA. So, and then we're sleeping in our own beds again. So
That'll be nice.
Finally.
It's been a good month and a half.
How? A month and a half?
Yeah,
Just on the
tour.
road.
Yeah, just promoting the EP and
Nice.
getting the word out. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we have some things next year, but we can't say them yet. But
Big things?
We hope to be playing in many new places next year.
Countries, states,
All of the above,
all of the above.
Planets.
but nothing
Planets.
is announceable yet. So
Sounds good. Well, the Real Occasions. So nice talking to you guys. You guys, yeah, awesome band.
yeah, great
Awesome.
to chat to you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah.
taking the time.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for chatting.
Thank you. Sweet.
Awesome.
Awesome.